Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gordon Frayne. We are back today talking again about Bittensor TAO. As always, if you enjoy the content, please give it a thumbs up below. Hit that subscribe button, smash the bell notification icon, and as always, you've got a completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin waiting for you in the description below this video. Go ahead, grab it now, and let's talk about TAO. So, Bittensor TAO has had a rough few months, but we might be seeing some silver linings on the horizon. So what's been happening here is we got all the way up to these phenomenal $740 highs by the middle of January. Much of this was driven by the confirmation and the election results in the United States. We saw Bitcoin making big moves from November 5th through to the middle of December. Bitcoin itself had another leg up in January, but Bittensor made an 80% move over a 32 day period. So we can see how quickly Bittensor made a move to the upside upon confirmation of the new US president in the Trump administration. And what we saw was Bitcoin making big moves to the upside, TAO and many altcoins following in hot pursuit. But unfortunately, since those middle of December highs, we have seen Bitcoin, TAO, and the rest of the market moving pretty sharply to the downside from 740. And you can see we went as low as $169 here by these 7th of April lows. What's been happening since then is we did see a bounce, a move to the upside, and very interestingly, by the time we got to the 20th of April here, just in the past week or two, we did see Bittensor breaking out of this downtrend that it had been in since those middle of December highs. Okay, this is boding pretty well for the potential of where Bittensor could go over the coming weeks and months. And the other thing I'll mention quickly on the Bitcoin chart is we've been looking at global M2 and the growth of global M2 over the past number of months and how Bitcoin is now beginning to follow global M2 to the upside. This is causing many leading altcoins to have breakouts just like Bittensor TAO. And if Bitcoin continues to move to the upside to follow global M2, just like it has done 85% of the time, then we could see assets just like TAO continuing to follow in this direction up and to the right. So we saw TAO getting as low as 169 and then moving all the way up to $373 here in the past few days. Again, making such a big move to the upside, going from those levels all the way up to where we got to. That was a 120% move in an 18-day period. So what we're seeing right now is a little bit of a cool off and a pullback, which I think is natural after having such a large move to the upside. Again, we have not yet gotten back to reclaim the 200-day simple moving average. We need to get back up above that $400 mark to retest the 200-day SMA and hopefully reclaim it so that we can keep moving back towards that $500, $600, and $700 all-time high area. Okay, the other thing that I'm always watching with Bittensor, if you're not familiar with it, guys, is as a leading open sourced decentralized AI protocol, there are a number of subnets operating on the TAO blockchain. Again, we've done deep dives about Bittensor on the channel. I will leave links at the top of the screen here for those other deep dives. But if you're not familiar, the tokenomics of Bittensor are aligned very much with the tokenomics of Bitcoin's original design. There's only 21 million tokens in existence. There are only, I think, about 10 million in circulation as of right now. We do have the first halving event for Bittensor scheduled for, I think, Q4 2025 or Q1 of 2026. I need to double check the precise date. But it's acting as a decentralized artificial intelligence network, and you have all of these subnets acting almost like individual nodes or individual AI entities on the TAO blockchain that are having all of these unique different use cases, and they are vying to provide the most valuable information to the overall network. By providing valuable and insightful information as individual AI protocols on the TAO blockchain, they earn TAO as a result of doing that. So that protocols or the subnets that provide the most valuable information get rewarded with the most TAO, and that is how they're incentivized to secure the network, but also contribute the most valuable information so that the swarm-like network as a whole continues to get smarter, evolve, and grow. And that's what you're seeing here on taostats.io here with all of these different subnets. So you can see leading subnets just like shoots and gradients are at the top of the list here because currently they're making up the largest amount of the mind share, let's call it, on the TAO blockchain. And you can earn very good emissions from providing your TAO to secure the network here and generate yield for TAO with DTAO, dynamic TAO, that was just launched in the past couple of months as well. So we're not going to get into the intricacies of that in today's video. If you want a deep dive into subnets and dynamic TAO, drop a comment below this video and I will make a dedicated video specifically for that. But the other hype that's been happening around Bittensor over the past week is this report that was dropped by Grayscale Ventures in collaboration with Fundstrat, and this is essentially outlining Bittensor TAO as the internet of artificial intelligence. It's an extremely detailed deep dive into not just Bittensor, but framing the entire picture of artificial intelligence as a whole and how TAO is then positioning itself as a decentralized open source AI protocol. And the point that they're trying to communicate with this entire deep dive, from what I gather so far from looking at it, is the fact that these open source AI models, just like Bittensor, are going to be able to outpace and outcompete centralized counterparties just like OpenAI and DeepSeek that's coming out of Asia and China. And what you're seeing is Bittensor making this move to be the internet of artificial intelligence. So again, I'm just trying to frame the entire picture here for Bittensor, but for the opportunity as a whole with artificial intelligence, because you've got the largest companies in the world, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Facebook, Meta, Amazon, all fighting to essentially be the leader of artificial intelligence. And I think what you're going to see is open source decentralized protocols just like TAO becoming real competitors in this space over the coming years. And again, we've done different videos on the UMA consensus mechanism. You can check those out on the channel. But with a supply dynamic schedule very similar to Bitcoin, staked and emitted TAO over time, the halving schedule baked in. There's a lot of similarities here to the core fundamentals of Bitcoin. There are still some possible reservations about the concentration of token supply with certain individual companies and individual players with Bittensor TAO as well. But I still think there is the ability for TAO to move much, much higher this cycle, especially given that AI and artificial intelligence is one of the leading narratives, not just in crypto, but in the business cycle in general. So again, I think there's lots of growth potential for TAO here. Last time I made some price prediction targets, we had these numbers here. Again, it's been a couple of months since I did an update on this, guys. If you want an updated price target for Bittensor TAO, drop a comment below this video. But what this means essentially is if we can see total crypto market cap getting to $5 trillion in a bear case scenario, and TAO can get up to a 0.45% dominance level, that's going to give us a $22 billion market cap for TAO and achieving around a $2,100 price target. Base case sees us getting closer to $7 trillion by the peak of the cycle. If TAO can get up to a 0.65% dominance, that's going to give us a market cap for Bittensor TAO closer to 45 billion. Again, dividing that by about 10.5 million TAO tokens in circulation by the end of this year brings us to about 4,300 in terms of a price target. And then in a bullish case scenario, getting up to $9 trillion in market cap, if TAO can get up to 0.85% dominance, that's going to give us a price target somewhere in the region of 7,300 US dollars per token. I know these numbers seem a little bit outlandish given that we are still at $340 and we were at $169 just 19 days ago, but I truly think this AI narrative has a lot of legs this cycle. and lots of potential upside for leading AI protocols just like TAO in this space. Later this year, if we get quantitative easing, if we get more capital flowing into markets from retail investors, we're already seeing Bitcoin starting to follow global M2, and global M2 is already up 4% on the year. So if that increases even more throughout Q3, Q4 of this year, we could see Bitcoin following much higher, and then tokens like Bittensor TAO outperforming Bitcoin significantly on a percentage basis is what I would be looking for. Again, let's wait and see what happens, guys. Nothing in this video is financial advice. Always do your own research. Check out the fundamentals. I can leave a link below this video for the Grayscale Bittensor deep dive. Again, I'm sure if you Google Grayscale Bittensor TAO report, you will find this exact link. But today's video, guys, check out the UIG. I want you to check out what's happening in DeFi. There is opportunities for providing liquidity on subnets and earning TAO and increasing your yield week over week, month over month. I'm helping a whole bunch of people over in the UIG. I'm going to leave a link below this video in the description for you to check out the UIG. If you want to take back financial control of your own life, of your own financial situation, we're helping people generate consistent yield, consistent cash flow, creating DeFi businesses by providing liquidity, generating yield over in the UIG. Check it out below this video in the description. And we're also sponsored by Femex, the most efficient crypto trading and investment platform. Again, guys, I'm going to leave a link for Femex below this video. Bittensor TAO token is available for trading and purchase over on Femex. Again, this is not financial advice, guys. Do your own research. If you got any value out of today's video at all, it would mean the world if you dropped a thumbs up before you run out the door. Again, hit subscribe, smash that bell notification icon, and you've got a completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin waiting for you in the description. Grab it below, and we'll catch you in the next one.